M0FXB, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a look at the TWR Plus made by Lilygo. Came in this very nice box here. So let's zoom in and have a look at these devices. So on the left we got the Pico APRS. It's turned on, it's tuned into 145.7500. All three of these devices are. And the thing that caught my attention is I've got the Pico APRS here, which is a fantastic device. I can literally sit here all day long and just watch this thing chugging away as it receives APRS packets. It can also be a Digipeater and it's a radio. If I key up now, you look at the radio over here. 1, 2, test, and it's just transmitted to both these devices. Now the Pico APRS, as much as I do love this device, it's one of my favourite gadgets. It says here the TWR Plus is the ultimate development board for ambitious tech enthusiasts. This board can achieve walkie-talkie functionality with integrated Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and a SA868 wireless transceiver. So now mine is, or has, the VHF module. So I'm not really sure, I haven't tried to program this with Meshtastic or with TinyGS, and I will give it a go, definitely. There is an open source version of this device. I didn't go for that one because it virtually comes blank and you really need to know your stuff as well. So let's just have a quick close look at it. See if we can zoom in. Of course you can see the OLED style screen, and to go to settings you just go up there, look up with this round thing, up, and then press it. You start to enter settings. To come out you double click. Let's just zoom in at the actual board, see if we can spot anything interesting, because it's quite hard to see close up, isn't it? So what are you spotting there? That little black thing in the middle, that's the one I want to see. Can't actually see what it says just underneath, but you'll see that I put in the SD card. You don't get that on the Pico APRS. Everything's quite well labelled. You've got uploader, display, DCS, and at the top here everything's described. That's your main chip, I believe, with your Bluetooth. Let's turn it around. ESP32. Quite hard to read it, isn't it? There you go. ESP32 S3 Room 1. There you go. Take a look at that. Now the one that I'm interested in as well is that, what's that one there? I can see it's upside down now. Is it an XP2101? So if someone's techie, let me know what they think. So let's show you how to just program this as a radio. So as a VHF radio, this is what I did. I moved the cog up one. And by the way, the battery, I'll say that before I forget, the battery was actually too small. Then I looked in the packaging and there was this spring that you've got to tuck in there. But I'm still finding that it's been on for a good half an hour and I'm finding that the battery isn't charging. So I'm not sure if there's something I've got to do. Someone let me know if there's something I've got to do to make this battery charge. We got, you know, hopefully we got it the right way around. So yeah, plus at this end, minus at this end, which is labelled inside. But anyway, to program, this is what I did. Turn up until you highlight the cog. Press this. And there is a 3D printed case you can make or buy, but to install this into the 3D case you actually have to dismantle it. So let's push this button here and we go down one to transmit frequency, enter, and when you first turn now, look, you'll see that the megahertz are changing, and then as you press it once, and then you'll find that the smaller digits are changing as well. Once you're happy with that, press enter and then it'll go back to receive. Press it again, exactly the same again. When you first go in, you don't have to press, you just turn. Then you press once and you can change the smaller increments, which are just changing now. Press. Now, I got stuck on CTCSS because watch this. Press. Now, I've set it to a random number, but I find if the 0 is the one I'm going to leave it on, but look, the numbers don't tally up with 77 or anything else. So I'm going to have to Google that and find out what that means. But for now, I'm just going to press 0, squelch down 1, press, and there's your squelch up and down with the toggle. Press again, and then bandwidth. I'm pretty sure I set it to 25 when I could get it to show on screen. It did show it eventually. And when you're done, you just double press. PTT wise, it's very small, but the top one is labeled PTT. If we look at the UVK5 device, hopefully it'll work now. Now that I'm going to do it on camera, it's not going to work, but we'll see. M0FXB test. Yeah, you can see that because I'm on camera, it didn't work. 1, 2, 2, it's working on that one. Possible that I changed something just then when I was messing. When you press, you need the mic to show. 1, 2, test. It's still out. Let me just double check. Okay, we did it because I had the wrong frequency. And so watch, if we now transmit, it does come with antenna. 1, 2, obviously we're going to get feedback. Let's turn it right down. 1, 2, test. And I'll try and do it from a distance and give that a go. M0FXB test. Yeah, it's quite hard to do when the radios are so close together. M0FXB test. You can just about tell. Let's try the other way. You need to get the settings right, otherwise it's not going to work. So 1, 2, test. 1, 2, test. Now the volume, I found, there was a see this little squiggle here? If you go down to here, press. You've got these high pass, low pass and emphasis. Double click to come out. And then the volume, I found that it didn't work every time. So the top one was the PTT. There's a button beneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And they are marked boot. This one's marked WR, I think. And that one's PTT. So let's push the second one down. And you get the volume. Let's push the one underneath. And the volume goes down, I believe. And then the one above goes up. That's volume. What's the bottom one do? Let's push the bottom one. I'm pushing and holding it. Now I've noticed that it's actually showing here like almost like a phone signal. I think that bottom one might have rebooted it. It's almost like a phone signal. It's probably Wi-Fi. Now I haven't added the Wi-Fi yet. You've got a battery symbol there, but as I said, I haven't got the battery charging yet. You've got extra connectors here as well. Here and here. They look like battery connectors. Actually, that looks like, let's have a look. That's actually marked mic. Let's just zoom in. Sorry about the blurriness of it all. Okay, just check it out. Remember, I'm new. I'm not really teaching this. I've got it and I'm showing it. That's what's actually happening here. And what I'll do, I will take the battery out. So this is the spring that they give you loose, which I don't know why they did that. And look, it's loose. I could bend that forward, but I feel like it's going to break. Plus here and minus there. Like so. So in the end, I just tuck the spring in here. So yeah, I'm brand new to this, but it's definitely a fun gadget. The thing I'd like to do is get this firmware that I saw a video by TechMinds. Let's get this firmware. I'll show you a screenshot of it that turns this into an iGate, you know, a TNC transmitter. Basically, it turns it into this device. Not the same device. And it feels like, I don't know, with a case, I think it's going to feel a lot more solid. So I'm going to dig out my 3D printer. Let's show you a screenshot and then we'll end the video. But hopefully that gives you an idea about how to use it as a radio. There's extra information here that I don't understand what it does. That's the 51 here. Then you've got the 3D, and what's that there? That little dot there. Because when I go to settings, I'm only getting 2. But maybe with the right firmware, you get a lot more settings and configuration. This is basically out the box been sold as a walkie-talkie, really, with the potential of the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, the TNC, and all the rest of it, and the SD card memory, which is, you know, it's the first one I've seen that's actually got an SD card slot, which just slipped in there. This is the GitHub page. I'll put the link in, and you can see there's some sort of control panel there. And if we look at some of what the screenshots say, GNS information, so you've got its GPS as well as actually I saw the GPS module on there. You can see the location here, GNS, satellite, it's tracking, and it says on here, and thanks to the developer, and there's the link there which I'll put in the description, and it says works in 3 modes: APRS, gateway, digital repeater tracker with built-in TNC and radio transceiver, which is used with the ESP32 Lilygo Plus 2 board. And it says it's designed and easy to use, displaying results on screen, configuration via screen and rotary switch, or config via web browser. Well, that's going to make it a lot easier, isn't it? So look, this is your web browser control. And look at it all, dashboard, radio, iGate, Digi tracker. So you keep your radio, but you get to set all this up as well. So I will be loading it shortly, but not in this video. And look, you've even got this live here with different settings. That's better. Wi-Fi, more screenshots, iGate mode, smart, beacon, HSA, PRF. You've got to be a bit brave with this kind of stuff. Take your time, don't rush, and big thanks to all involved. 7-3, all the best.